Clay is just getting home with this piece of wood and I'm super excited to see it. It looks really cool from the pictures, but obviously pictures are sometimes a little bit deceiving. Everybody, welcome back to our channel. Guys, today is going to be a busy day for me. I am going to be cleaning house, disinfecting our house, making sure everything is clean because my brother and his family is coming into town tomorrow. We are going to take the kids and do the Polar Express. We have never done this with our kids and we are super excited to do it before Austin actually is like old enough to move out of the house. We're finally going to get around to taking the kids and doing this amazing thing. I've heard such fun things about it. The elves and the cookies and the hot chocolate. So it's actually a train that goes from Provo Canyon and then it goes up into Heber and then around, and supposedly it is just like the Polar Express. So we're very much looking forward to this and cannot wait for this experience. Guys, Clay has talked me into letting him build a river epoxy table. I was not sold on this for the longest time, but I said if we can do the epoxy in like a dark smoke or black color, then I would be okay with it. I'm not really interested in doing a super bright blue like he wanted to do because it just doesn't really go with what we have going on around here, but a black or a smoke color would actually look really awesome. So he is headed down to pick up this giant slab of wood that we are going to turn into our new kitchen table.
As Terry mentioned, I'm down here in Springville. Actually just met a guy here at the Walmart to pick up these 2 slabs of oak. We're going to make a kitchen table out of the larger one and a bench to go under the table on the other side with the smaller one. The smaller piece, as you can see here, is pretty rough. It's got this this nasty cut right down the middle here where it's separated. It's got another one over here. Might have to put like one of those bow ties in there to kind of help hold that together. Same with this one. It's obviously got to be surfaced and shaped. It's got to be flatter. It's kind of got a big hump in it. But this piece underneath it is super cool. It's going to make an awesome table. Right now it's pretty thick. It's like 2.5 inches thick. This bench piece is like 3 inches. So by the time we get it milled down, it'll be about 2 inches. So super excited for this. We might try some resin on this. Do like a resin table, maybe cut it in half and have like the resin down the middle when the 2 pieces come back together. And we're also going to use some resin in this thing to help fill these gaps, you know, right here and those other ones right there. So it should be super cool. I am super stoked about this project. I've been watching a lot of videos, looking at a lot of pictures on these epoxy river tables. So they're incredibly cool. If you guys want to look them up online or look at videos on YouTube and to see how they turn out. I mean, you can do a bunch of different colors in the resin. You know, blues and greens are very popular. I think Terry wants to do a black. I don't know if she's feeling the blue and green. I think they're super cool, but we'll see. It should turn out awesome. I'm gonna head home and show Terry, make sure that she likes it, and we'll game plan it from there.
Clay is just getting home with this piece of wood and I'm super excited to see it. It looks really cool from the pictures, but obviously pictures are sometimes a little bit deceiving, so I want to see it in person. We're going to bring it in here, set it on top of our existing table so we can get a real good look at it for what it's going to be in our house. We're going to lay this blanket down, cover up the table so we don't scratch it.
We really want to see like how big it is in comparison to the table that we already have. I know Terry wants to make it a little bit shorter, but it's not as wide. And so, I mean, it's a big piece, but if we're gonna do that resin down the middle, then we're gonna have to slice it right in half. And then you put your straight edges to the outside and then have that resin down here. If we wanna keep that large piece of the wood, then our resin will be on the outsides to fill it in, to get back to this width.
All right, let's get this covered so we can bring it in.
All right, we just got this piece hauled in here. It's pretty close to the same size as our old table. It's overhanging down here just a little bit, so if we push it back, oh, and hold tight. We have a lot of opinions on the river table. Guys, what color are we hoping for?
On the what table?
They call it an epoxy river table. If you put the river in the middle, so that means we'd have to cut the slab down the middle, right here, all the way down. You put the straight edge to the outside, so it would now become like this edge of the table here. So see how this side of it's like curved right here? It's not straight. And so is this side. So those would now be the middle, those 2 pieces right there. So that's what would be your river down the center. So what colors are we hoping to go for?
Silver.
It's like a gold.
Silver.
Gold. Silver or gold.
Silver in the middle? What do you think, Bob?
You could do clear and then have like gold flakes.
That'd be really cool.
It's also possible to put lights.
Can we?
Nah.
Terry's shaking her head no. How cool would that be if your table lit up?
Maybe if it was like a game table or something in the basement where...
All right, we're building another table for the basement.
Like like it's a good kitchen table.
So are you wanting the table to be shorter as far as the width goes? Because see how it's probably a good foot shorter than what our table is right now.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit shorter. Our space is not big enough, so we need to cut it back a little so it's so long.
You're talking lengthways or widthways?
I'm talking lengthways. I don't want it to be as long. Before we make any decisions on this table, I would like to flip it over and see the other side. There's this one piece right down here that I feel like might look really cool if we were to flip it over and have the other side be the top. Then this would really stand out. So Owen and Clay are gonna flip that around, see what it looks like on the other side.
So let's go with like this end down as we flip it. It's pretty heavy.
Never mind, boys. Go back.
You like that showing through?
I don't want to put wood right here and fill it in.
Well, that would be filled with like epoxy.
We want to get it squared off, right? So back to a rectangle like this.
Why did they have to cut it like that?
That's just how the tree is, right? So this is the bottom of the tree.
Oh, so it's like that and then skinny.
All right, we are gonna haul this piece of wood back out to the garage, flip it over onto the back side, and try and sand it down a little bit so we can use the stain that we bought for our mantle and our banisters. And we're gonna try and have it all somewhat coordinate together. I'm hoping that the stain that we have already will go really well with this piece of wood and that it will all complement each other, and then we will do like a black or a smoke colored resin on this. But we're gonna test out those stain first because I feel like that is the first puzzle piece we have to solve.
All right, I've got this piece sanded down. I sanded it with some 80 grit, some 120, and then some 220, and that's as far as I'm going with it.
Very smooth.
I'm actually starting like this is what we thought would be the back, and that's why we're gonna stain it. But I don't know, we may have to like sand off the stain because it may end up being the front. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm feeling about it. I like it, you know, being the front because of this little cutout right here, and then it's sloped up that way. And so we kind of want to keep that, especially on this other side right here. As you can see that it's sloped down here, meaning this would be like towards the outer edge of the tree, that being to the inside.
I do like, that's why I liked this earlier when we were looking at it. I like this
I know.
cutout.
Now that it's sanded and all cleaned up, I'm not sure. But anyways, we can sand this stain off if we decide we want to. So let's put some on.
So as you guys saw on this wood, Clay has it taped off in different sections. Those are the sections we're gonna try different colors of stain on to see which one we like the best. The first one we're gonna start with is the stain that we have inside, crossing my fingers that one is the one we like the most so that it all coordinates and ties together.
Since how the bottom section is the coolest piece, I want to put that stain down here just so we can see what it looks like.
Changing the color a ton, which is nice because I do like the natural look. Just enough to be perfect.
Just enough to be perfect? That sounds like me, Tara.
All right, we're wiping this stain off to see what it reveals. As you can see, it's not terribly different from the natural right here. There's that stain, it's not looking, I see the green in it.
Yeah, the green is definitely staining on the grain.
Yeah.
Where like on the mantle, the grain's not as open as this is. So everywhere there's one of those lines right there, the green is holding up in there. So you could have a green table if we go with that one.
So we had to have, Sherwin-Williams had to put a ton of green in that stain mixture to counteract the red that was in all of the white oak pieces that we had to go inside. And it's really, really sticking in these grain pieces here. And I'm not sure I love that look because it definitely looks like a weird greenish yellowy color. So maybe one of the other stains that we've purchased will be a better fit. So now we're doing Special Walnut, which this one is a very popular stain color. It is all over Pinterest. Everybody uses it. See what it does. So we have 5 different colors of stain on this board, and what do you think?
Well, so which one do you think is my favorite color? I'm gonna ask you that real quick. Show everyone what we got here.
All right, so this is what we have. We have
pickled oak, ebony, classic gray, special walnut, and then this is, we're just calling this mantle stain.
Yeah.
Because it did not have a name.
Yes, that's the mantle color. I would say probably this one down here on the end is your favorite.
I don't mind that one, but I'm really kind of liking this classic gray. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Especially if you use the smoked resin with this color. I feel like it'd look really good.
Yeah, that one's probably my favorite out of these ones. I said I wish I just didn't have so much green in it because I like that this has such light undertones. It doesn't make it turn red. It actually kind of keeps it more of like the natural white look, but it does have a lot of green. It's definitely getting trapped in those grains, which is not gonna look great.
Yeah, it'd look terrible if we left it as is. So you may have to go back to Sherwin, to the same guy that helped us mix this. Terry had him tweak this sample, this stain, probably 20 times. I think this guy wanted to quit his job. So you may want to go back and talk to him. He's probably just gonna walk out the door when you walk in.
No, him and I are friends now.
I don't know about that.
We spent a lot of time together coming up with this stain.
I don't know. He's probably looking for a new job right now, as it is.
No. So, yes, this one right here is probably the one that we both agree on. Probably will look the best with either a black resin or the smoke color.
That'd be my second favorite right here. Yeah, it just seems like it's a little darker than this one, but I kind of want the resin to have a nice contrast with the stain color. So if you go, the smoked out is gonna look just like this.
Right.
So if you go with this one with the smoke, then it'll have the contrast that we're looking for. Guys, if you have an opinion on the stain color for the table, let us know. We want to hear about it. Also, tomorrow, coming up, we are going on the Polar Express that we've talked about. We haven't been on there yet. We don't know what to expect, but it should be a great time. Should be fun for the kids. Get them in the Christmas spirit, which I know we're all hoping for, and super, super stoked about it. So we appreciate you guys watching. We love you, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow.